Hello there, ladies and gentlemen of SoundCloud. Welcome to my second podcast. Well, today I want to be talking about something that is actually pretty close to me, and that is the NiP team getting pretty much banned, or NukeDuck and Mithy have been banned from League of Legends for, or competing in League of Legends for 1 year. Now, that is really sad to me as a viewer, a spectator. I have followed them pretty closely since they first, since Richard Lewis posted an article stating that this will be the new NiP team, or this will be a new team, where they played under the name of Rest in Pajamas or Rest in Pepperonis or something like that. And I follow them, and it's been a glorious ride. They are just dominating and they have been trashing everything. And during the past week, basically, Mithy and NukeDuck got banned for racial slurs, giving different examples. And I have a lot of mixed opinion about this, because yeah, being rude, being trash-talking people, using racial slurs, that is definitely a bannable offense by the Summoner Code within Riot. But what have happened is actually that you have multiple outcomes from this. First up, there are players high up that play together with famous streamers, famous players, and they're consistently baiting out responses, baiting out rage, baiting out any kind of emotion, and as soon as the players really just open up a tiny bit, they will screenshot it, they will report them, and everything bad will happen. Some people are just like, every time they face certain players, they will just report them without even any proper reasoning. And that is pretty bad, but there's nothing that we can really do about that, because we are, after all, humans. We'll all have slip-ups from time to time and say bad things and mean things. Of course, that is by no means any excuse to you using racial slurs, and if I'm correct, I think the article stated, or the Riot article stated, that they have been reporting about 30% of their games, or something like that, which is quite a huge amount, and that is bad, obviously. But this is something that I want to mention, and I want to just scratch on the surface here. And it's simply the fact that League of Legends is currently a game that really tries to make esport a proper sport, on the similar and the same level as any other sport, such as baseball, football, American football, basketball, anything, right? They want it to be on the same level and same amount of professionalism, which is great, which is all cool by all means. But if I have a famous football player, if say when Ronaldo, or say Messi, yeah, he's a good example. If you go out and say some racial slurs, no football league is gonna ban him from competing. No! He will be fined and penalized by his own team, not the actual football league. By no stretch of the imagination will he be prevented from competing. That is the team's decision to do that. But when Riot, for some reason, reaches their hand into the game and just say, we will curate who will be allowed to play, technically, they could just ban everyone besides 5 players on 20 different teams. Like, and so just say, these guys will play, they are the only one who are not racial and using terrible slurs of any kind. Is that the way that this game really should work? No, it's not. Yeah, you might agree with them, and it might be 100% legit and a valid reason for their ban, and if the team had not done anything about it, the team would probably not have done anything about it, but still, it should be the team's decision. Because in the basic and in the groundwork, if I hire people to work for my company, and okay, so let's say that I work for a company that is beneath this massive organization, and we're just like a little company working under all of this. Yes, they say that I work for a store on the corner, right? Yeah, and this store is a part of a huge conglomerate. Basically, if I'm being rude to a customer, my manager could, or like the guy on the far top of the entire business, he could come and be like, hey, this guy working in our store, 5 fucking billion, he could, or he used racial slurs, I want him to be fired. Yeah, he could do that, he have all the rights on his side to do so. But would he? No, that is the individual store's responsibility. And it's the same. It is the individual team's responsibility to keep their players in check and keep them in line. It's not Riot's responsibility, even though they have the possibility, even though they can do it, even if it's just a show of power. It's not their really responsibility nor choice to really just remove a player's opportunity to really compete at all. And yeah, it is Riot's events, so they can prevent anyone that they want from playing, but personally, it's not justified. It might, however, they might have said the most terrifying thing. They might have told every player in every game to kill themselves and get cancer and die and all of that, and their family to suffer. I'm sorry for the slurs, by the way, myself, but they could say that, and still, it would not be a valid reason for Riot to remove them. Riot could ban the actual accounts and be like, hey, you'll have to level up a new account, you will have to do all of that. Even though that is not a huge pain for a lot of players, that is actually, yeah, it's not their choice, it's not their responsibility, even though they have the capability to do so. You're not supposed to just meddle with other teams' affairs. At least give a warning. This is something that both of the players kinda got upset on Twitter about. They were like, wait, we did not get any warning about this. And you can always say like, well, they had been banned in the previous time, a long time ago. They were doing a lot of bad stuff, and they're still doing bad stuff, and that's why they got banned. At least they should have gotten like a week, or the team should have gotten a warning, like, hey, if you do not keep your players in line, we will remove them from competing. Like, if I have my football team, and every time on the field, they would start the match by just like using racial slurs, they would insult their opponents on the field all the time, then it would still not be the football league's choice to be like, well, you're not allowed to use players anymore. In the worst case scenario, they would come up to the team and be like, okay, so this and this player are really behaving inappropriately on the field. If they do not quit, we will put a ban on them. And that is how it should be. A warning to the team at most, and if it's not listened to, ban. But do not come out and just ban individual players without going through an entire system first. Because yeah, a lot of players will be using racial slurs, and as pro players they should go in front with an example to everyone. They should still have the possibility to really fix themselves and get a warning from the team first. And as always, it's actually a business. It's not just a random little thing that it doesn't matter if you ban people. No, for the actual owners of the team, it's a business for them, and they have paid money. They're paying for people to play for them, and when they suddenly get banned, and you're just sitting there on the sideline and being like, whoa, why? What happened here? If I come to work one day and I see that 2 of my 5 players are banned, and I'm just like, whoa, what do I do now? So yeah, that are my thoughts on this, and hopefully you can agree with some of what I'm saying. Of course, people will have different opinions on just this subject, because yeah, no one likes rudeness, no one likes trash talk and bad manners, but it happens all the time. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you for tuning in.